A federal judge is hearing arguments in San Francisco about whether President Trump violated federal law when he deployed the National Guard. This was following protests against immigration raids in Los Angeles back in June. And California Governor Gavin Newsom is accusing the Trump administration of violating federal law by using the National Guard for law enforcement purposes. Federal law states the military cannot be used to enforce domestic laws unless expressly authorized by the Constitution or an act of Congress. One of the key witnesses taking the stand over the last 2 days was Major General Scott Sherman. He commanded the Guard troops in Los Angeles during that time. And CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman has been following this trial. She joins us now. Katrina, yesterday Sherman testified he never heard the term rebellion used regarding these protests in Los Angeles. Why does that stand out? And what did he say during his testimony today?
Well, today he walked that back. He clarified that he did know that Trump's memo had stated that the LA protests did constitute a rebellion. And that's what was really interesting about his testimony is yesterday there were some things he said that seemed potentially damaging to Trump. Another thing that had come out is that there was an operation that took place in MacArthur Park in Los Angeles. He said that initially he had objected to that request for assistance and that a DHS official had accused him of not being loyal to his country for doing so. Now, today he said that the reason he didn't approve it was because it was high risk. It had to go to a higher level. But then when he was pressed, he admitted that there were things about the initial form of that operation that he took issue with, where they wanted the military vehicles in the middle of this road in the park. The fact that initially they wanted to do it on Father's Day, and he worried about the number of people that would be around, that it could impact the risk there. So it was just very interesting to see him say these different things on the stand. But the most significant thing he brought up was what he called a mysterious constitutional exception. He said that he was told that the Posse Comitatus Act, which is the key issue here, it's that the military is not supposed to be used to enforce civil laws, to domestic enforcement. And what he said is he was told that there are some exceptions. There were some activities that were highlighted, and they told him that you can actually do those under certain circumstances. And the judge pressed him on this. He said, what is this mysterious constitutional exception? Sherman didn't know. He said that he's not a lawyer, but that was very significant that that came out during his testimony.
So obviously a key witness in hearing about him. What are the key arguments that each side is making right now?
I mean, what the state is saying is that essentially there has been a standing army in Los Angeles for the last 2 months. They brought out the fact that almost 500 troops have been sent there. They said that that's more than the number of troops that were sent to Afghanistan after 9/11. Wow. I mean, that's just how big that number is. They say it's been instilling fear in people in California, and that the issue is that they have been in violation of the Posse Comitatus Act, says the state. They have been acting in domestic law enforcement capacities, and they say that the government is sort of trying to talk around this, using certain language with how they're characterizing what the military is doing there to say that they're not in violation. But what they want is for the judge to provide injunctive relief, for this National Guard troops to leave Los Angeles, and for this to also create a bar for this to happen in other states. Now, the government says that they have been in compliance. They don't think that the state has met the threshold here. They say that these troops have just been there to protect the federal law enforcement as they're supposed to.
We know you will be staying on top of this for many days to come. Katrina Kaufman, thank you so much for joining us.